a voice, a very cool and cultured voice said, "Myra, you have a most disagreeable child." And there was this tall woman back there with dark hair behind my mother. She may have only known my mother's name because they had just met, perhaps at this opening. She didn't know her normally.
Wow.
And later on, my mother said, "Look at what you've done. That's the person who painted the painting."
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't say those things just out loud.
Mm-hmm. So did...
Then she told me about it repeatedly in future years, which is why I remember it.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't remember.
Right. And so did that get filed away in terms of later how you interacted with artists, or did?
Well, my mother managed to make me not say everything that was on my mind.
Right.
But that's, of course, getting to not be a 5-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, I also, because of her stories, remembered that I had insulted Georgia O'Keeffe, which was, I thought, pretty dangerous.
Right.
But Georgia O'Keeffe, the next time I saw her when I was in college, she didn't remember.
Sure.
I didn't look the same.
Right. It'd be pretty impressive if she did remember.
Yeah, if she said, "You."
Wow. Well, that's...
I
wish I had a story like that.
I remember it as a really bad painting, too. Right. I stand by it.
Wow.
What if it wasn't even hers? I have no idea. I think it was.
Right. Wonderful. Well, Mary, it's been an honor to get to sit down with you. Again, being an alumnus of SMU, I know how what contribution you made to the arts program there, and I know how much all of us are indebted to your vision and your hard work to make that program what it is and sustain that. And thank you for letting me come into your studio and spend some time with you.
Thank you, Craig. You're doing a wonderful task in visiting artists.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Again, a huge thank you to Mary Vernon. If you want to see more of her work, check out our website at maryvernon.com or the website for Valley House Gallery at valleyhouse.com. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, so thank you for listening to this one. Outside of New York is a weekly podcast. As always, you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, or your favorite podcast app. Or you can catch a new episode each week at outsideofnewyork.com, where new talks normally drop on Sunday evenings. You can always check out past episodes and see images from each of our conversations at outsideofnewyork.com. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please go to iTunes, subscribe, and while you're there, please rate the show and leave a quick review. Your feedback is the key to other folks finding us. And lastly, Outside of New York is a commercial-free, listener-supported program. Podcasts have a number of ongoing costs, including paying for a place to store and host all of the episodes, as well as traveling to tape episodes that aren't exactly in our backyard. If you want to make sure we stick around, you can support us by making a donation through Patreon. Patreon is a platform that allows patrons to provide financial support in the form of a one-time payment or monthly donations of as little as $1. Visit patreon.com/outside of New York, or just look for the link at outsideofnewyork.com. Thanks again, and have a great week.